Jeff. Hi, I wanted to show you how I build wood duck boxes. These are 1x12 rough cut pine, white pine that we had sawed at the local sawmill. These I went 26 high on the back and 22 high on the front, and 24 on the back, so there's a 2-inch slope. These I have a 4-inch hole instead of a 3.5, which I usually use because I've got some golden eyes which require a 4-inch hole that I'm expecting to use these boxes. Wood ducks will use them too. One tip I learned recently was to recess your bottom in a little bit, that way the water doesn't drip and rot the bottom out. I'm going to wait and oil these when probably end of the summer, let the wood dry out. It was pretty green when I first got it. I hinge them on the back, and instead of buying latches, I'm just drilling the sides. And I'm using screw eyes, and then I'll fasten it with a piece of wire. And it really just needs to hold the lid on to keep the wind from blowing it up. Building 10 of these. I needed at least 15 wood duck boxes, and this will give me 15 this season. It's pretty cold outside, so we have a heater going in here. Stiff wire. So I just trim off the excess. That's a cheap way to make a latch. This box here, if you notice, it looks a little different. It's for ground nesting ducks, and it's something I'm experimenting with. Sits like that on the ground, 4-inch hole. I expect the teal will use this. I'll make a depression in the ground and then put some peat moss and some, maybe a little straw or grass. Hi, this is Jeff. I thought we'd do a quick video on this year's duck production and show you the steps we go through to raise them. Here we've got tufted, some platinum wood ducks, and Bicol teal. We start them all out in these boxes with dry bedding. I change the bedding probably every couple of days, just to keep a warm, dry environment. It's July and it's hot here, and so I just use 125 watt bulbs instead of the 250 watt.
And we start all the ducks out this way because little ones like this, they cannot always produce enough oil to keep waterproofed. So we start them out in a dry environment, and then in a week or two, I'll move them into a place where they can get wet. But we just have a fountain water, and I use a base and put some Missouri duck starter pellets in the base to get them used to eating. A lot of times I'll save back a duckling and just to teach the others how to eat. And especially the platinums are difficult. These are, I think, 4 or 5 days old, and I haven't lost one yet. And so the little tufted is about a week old, and he's eating and drinking fine, so he's teaching the other ones. The Bicol teal, you can always tell them by the white spot or the white dot right at the base of the bill, and they carry that through even as adults. I think, yeah, you can see it on that one. This year had its successes and failures. Not a real good year, but one success was we did raise a few SMU. And I'll keep them in here until they're all fledged. I just left the mother with the little ones. It's actually 2 different batches here. And she's done a real good job with them. Again, we have a heat lamp feed. They're switched over to grower pellets. The SMU, I keep a little stronger flow of water because your diving ducks produce a little more oil than the others. Plus, they get mealworms just to boost their protein, and they've learned to love them. You see the water running off their backs. They're very well oiled. This is the next stop for the little ones. These are tufted and they're about a week and a half old. And at this point we introduce them to the water. This tub is made just for ducks. It has traction on one side and a grate, and it's easy to clean, hose out. Works really well. These are about a week and a half old, tufted. And they love the water. They'll even dive if they get excited. You may wonder what I'm doing with domestic ducks. The runner ducks we got for my wife's garden, they're excellent for eating slugs, and she has a slug problem. There's the goats, the source of the goat noise. The Khaki Campbells, my mentor, Lonnie Bougie from Green Bay, Wisconsin, told me he used those to hatch eggs for him. He said they're good sitters. So I thought I'd get a few to keep the hens to incubate extra eggs. I just built this pen. I have to fill it full of sand yet around the edges, but I have a pipe in it so I can pull that, drain it in just a few minutes, and then fill it with fresh water. I just filled it a day or two ago, and it's already greening up. This pen I built last year, all cement, and I moved the older birds into here for a short time. I have a rubber mat. It's easier on their feet because this is a cement floor. I provide a little bit of heat so they can dry off, and then about half this pen is water. I just pull the stick and hose everything out, and it drains right out. Water's maybe 4 or 5 inches deep at the deepest spot, but it works out real well. Apologize for the goat noise. But in here we have more tufted. We have, I think there's 4 pintails, regular northern pintail, and there's 3 falcated. They're all doing well. When I move the birds outside, I put them in these brooders, wire bottom with little tubs, and I can pull the plastic pipe out and clean it in just a couple of minutes and refill it. But I keep a steady trickle of water going just to keep it fresh. And ducks like this, when they're in a small pool, you got to keep flushing the oil off the surface. The oil comes off the ducks when they're oiling, and if you don't give them fresh water, the oil will build up on the surface of the pond, and it'll ruin their waterproofing. But I keep a heat lamp at night under one end that's covered. And these I have started over, or switched from a grower to a starter to a grower feed. You can see they're just starting to feather. Once they get fledged, I'll put them outside permanently. Once they're fledged, they go in here. We've already raised quite a few wood ducks and mandarins. These are the first batches, and the older mandarins are already flying. But I keep perch for them to sit on. They love to fly up and perch. I use high bush cranberry for shade in these pens. They love the berries. This pond gets a constant flow. I have some bob whites in here. And she just finished laying. There's pintail. There's a Eurasian widgeon. Wood ducks and mandarins. There's a couple wood ducks left over from last year. Some extra males. I hope this was help to you. We'll try to get more videos out. Please like and subscribe.